What's up, sis?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can. I can. How are you?
Well,
Despite what's going on. Hey, totally random. I know. Thank you for joining this call. I know I asked you last night. I said, hey, let's talk tomorrow. I'm going to record it. So let me just give you a quick perspective on what I'm doing, just so that you're comfortable. We're recording, just so you know, and I told you we would be. So with COVID and all of us working from home, I work in an industry where I'm talking with everybody. You know that. Same with you. And I just thought, one day I saw a buddy of mine. I'm like, hey, let's catch up on Zoom. And so we talked to each other. We recorded it, and it was awesome. It was like a time for us to connect about whatever it was that was important to us, sports and business and marketing and entrepreneurship. And so I thought to myself, you know what? Last night when we were talking with the family, I was like, I want to have you on as something complete random. Like there's no plan here. There's no questions. Really just want to connect with you and see how you're doing and talk about your business. I know we've talked a lot over the years, and I've helped you a little bit with some of the digital work that you're doing, and would love just to understand kind of where your head is with just kind of being at home, being a mom with two little ones, and how you're coping with the work environment and like the plan, if you have a plan for, once we get to the new normal, like what is your business going to look like and how you're going to, continue to be successful as you have been over the last several years. So that's it. How's that? By the way, all in like 10 or 11 minutes. So
okay, cool. Yeah, I love it. I actually really appreciate even the dialogue, because I think if there's anything a lot of us can relate to is kind of a feeling of loneliness, as we're kind of quarantined within our own spaces, limited to the immediate family, right? I mean, I have never been more excited to FaceTime or Zoom with a face other than my spouse's. So super grateful for that. Yeah, it's been really challenging. I think as a business owner or an entrepreneur, something that I think we all really relate to is just that feeling of not knowing and loneliness, which is a constant theme. So I guess if anything, I am well practiced in the feeling of uncomfortable and uncertain. This experience has really, come at my businesses in a way that I didn't ever really plan for, because my business is not an essential business. So without any other options, I've basically gone from making money to making nothing, right? Like that. And it's been emotionally almost like experiencing grief, right? Just a loss that came out of nowhere. And although I am hopeful, very hopeful that I will get back at it, there is still this level of, I'm not sure when that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I've always exercised myself as a business owner is being creative. I really think that searching and being creative outside the box is what really differentiates businesses, because it's about being resilient and inventive quick, right?
Yeah.
Because trends and markets shift like that, right? You can't just live into this routine that and this experience has really shown me that if there's something that we all really should exercise, is exercise adapting, right? Not just falling into this, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, right?
Yeah.
I personally I've owned a business for 5 years, and I'm literally in the process of launching another business. And within the first 2 weeks of being taken out of business, I launched things online, right? Because it's not the time to throw your hands up and say, I don't know. It's time to get really productive and maybe fail a couple times at it as you experience and get better. But yeah, I think if anything I can really take from this experience is really to, be resilient, try, fail, try again, and just be creative, be a little bit ahead and be super creative. Even if it sounds wild, try it, because it could just offer some serious goodness and even more opportunity when we do kind of have that normalcy back in our lives.
It's funny, like just thinking back over the years as we've, grown up together, and when you were married and had children, and even before you started your business, you've always had that entrepreneurial spirit, right? And so I kind of have it too, but it's like I'm a little bit more less. I don't like to take risks. And for you to take a risk from working at where you were to starting your own business, and even now, like I feel like the last couple of years when we're on the phone or when we see each other during holidays, you're always thinking about like, what's that next thing? What's that next opportunity? Where's that, what's that business that I can create that can give me income without a lot of effort on my part? And so is that hardwired in you, or is that something that people learn? I'm curious, because I don't know the answer. I don't even know how I became this way. But you and I are a lot alike in that regard. So I'm just curious what your thoughts are.
No, I love that question. I think about that question all the time. Actually, I will intuitively say I think it's a little bit of both. And why I say that is I feel like I work with my mentor a lot as my business mentor as I kind of explore my own entrepreneurship. And one thing I've always known about myself is in all my experiences growing up and learning, I have an immediate instinct to go rogue instantly. If someone tells me you do it this way, I'm always thinking about, is there another way I can do it? Right? I'm 100% like that. And that's just who I am. The other side of, I do think that can somewhat be developed. And this is my theory on that. I think it's an exercise of submerging yourself into being extremely uncomfortable, right? It's that risk-taking. Risk-taking, I don't have this gene in my body that is unaffected or unafraid of taking risks. I have it just like everybody else. I think there's me that's just is so curious of what it'll look like on the other side. I'm willing to just cut through the uncomfortable, and I'm uncomfortable all the time because I'm constantly thinking of the next step, right? The next idea, the next passion that comes into my heart. So I do think it's a practice, right? And this is what I always tell my team is I don't ever become an expert where I don't feel uncomfortable anymore. I'm just comfortable being uncomfortable most of the time, right? Yeah. So that's how I would say that it's about that. But some people, some people are really cool with where they're at, right? Yeah. I like challenge all the time.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because for years, I did a TED Talk in 2017 and I had never watched the video of myself ever because I felt like I looked stupid and I sound like Donald Duck when I talk and I just don't have the right body language. And so like December of last year, I was like, you know what is something that I struggle with and how do I overcome that? And so I started this video, doing YouTube videos, and I love it. At first I was editing the videos and I was like, oh my God, I sound stupid. And the more that I've done it, the more that I see myself, the more that I'm watching myself now talk to you, it's like, I feel it's not uncomfortable anymore. And this whole like off the cuff conversation that I'm having with you and like other entrepreneurs and CEOs and just friends in the industry, it was a complete random thought. And for some people it's uncomfortable, but for me, it's like, okay, I love this. Let me do more of this. So in essence, it was a risk in doing that, but I feel really good about it as I reflect back and say, this was something that I struggled with in the past and my self-confidence, and here I am, and I'm doing it all the time. And it's pretty good content. It's pretty valuable to people. So, I would love to just, as you were talking, because, you have your hands in so many different things, right? You have your salon and you built that up and that was amazing. And that's going to continue to be amazing. And then you had this project where, we talked about it a couple times over I think on Thanksgiving and just throughout the last several months or years. Where are you with the experience that you were creating? I know it might have shifted a little bit. Can you just maybe tell me, because I'm your big bro and I want to know, but like, where are you with that project? Because I remember last time we spoke, it was like, you were going to build this experience that was in this area of Tucson where there was like a trail. So there was going to be like bikes and like people resting and all these amazing things that they could do. Is that still the plan?
Yeah. And that's also just, I am a multi-passionate entrepreneur, and that's a term I just found within the last 6 months, which relate because I am like, a piece of me is here, a piece of me is there. I'm cultivating all these different things with a lot of different business partners and collaborators, and community is just really important. I think if anything, this experience has shown us is like, we want connection, right? So that passion project is really something that I'm collaborating on with my husband and some other business partners, like my in-laws. Essentially is a destination spot of, you know, a building that is right next to the river path, which in Tucson, you know, a lot of cyclists hit the river path, a lot of joggers. It's a big part of Tucson because we're an outdoor kind of city. And the idea is to actually have local businesses occupy this space so that essentially we can give them a really beautiful and achievable opportunity. I'm talking financially achievable opportunity to have a beautiful storefront and build up their businesses, right? Exciting enough, after 2 years of working with the city, we're there. We're like in escrow for the property now, this just happened in the last week, and it's super exciting. So yeah,
so you still have to build the building.
Yep.
So you just have the property. Okay.
We have the property, building's going to happen, and we're going to start really finding these local gems of Tucson who want to utilize this opportunity to be seen in a beautiful, aesthetically pleasing and community type way, where the businesses are really there to feed each other business and collaborate through encouragement, right?
Yeah.
Especially for small business, we need that support because it's lonely and scary. So yeah, that project is happening, and I'm brainstorming a business to go in there aside from Hair with a Business Partner that is also about community building and human empowerment and support and education on, you know, positive beauty narratives and non-toxic beauty products and a lot of extensions. So it's going to be a really exciting project that I do feel is going to be an important move for me as a business owner, for the community offering. I really feel really good things about that idea.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I don't know. I hope we can see each other for Thanksgiving or Christmas this year. We'll see where we're at in the world that we live in. I always joke with people, like, I'm just waiting for zombies to like come chasing us and knocking down our door, and how we're going to deal with the apocalypse that way. But thank you. I love you. And I'm so glad that we've been having these Zoom calls for just the family, Alex, you, and our siblings and our significant others. And it's been great. And to your point earlier, let's continue to do that because I love you guys so much. And it's been awesome to just, you know, connect with the girls and my nieces. And so thank you for doing this with me. I don't know when it's going to get published. Probably in the next week or so, but I'll be sure to let you know.
All right. I love you, Mikey.
Love you too. Don't hang up.
Okay.